Welcome to the Cameroon Press Review this Monday, 3rd of August 2026, with politics that sets the tone for the first Monday of August, with newspapers examining leadership, constitutional reform, and the effectiveness of public institutions across the country. The Horizon leads with reports of decentralized protest plan for 14 August, placing electoral credibility and what it calls the truth of the ballot box at the center of national debate. The newspaper also carries the argument by Barrister Keremona that the gold smuggling scandal and institutional paralysis in the country are symptoms of the same governance crisis. It further reports calls by the Cameroon Reformation Party for the resignation of President Paul Biya and proposes the creation of a new bilingual capital region. The governance debate is reinforced by Lasha King Info, which alleges that gold smuggling is costing Cameroon an estimated 577 billion francs CFA, while highlighting the call by Dr. Christopher Forminia for sweeping constitutional reforms. The newspaper also reports on the message of the Archbishop of Canterbury that God has not forgotten Cameroon, blessing political reform alongside moral responsibility. Questions surrounding political leadership also feature in the French language press. Mutation asks, pilotage automatique over le Cameroon, questioning the direction of the country amid continuing governance concerns, while La Nouvelle Expression explores internal tensions within the CPDM and argues that repeated extensions of the national population census reflect wider institutional weaknesses. Meanwhile, Le Messager sharply criticizes the repeated postponement of the 4th General Population and Housing Census, describing it as evidence of systemic failure, while also noting that the prolonged stay of President Paul Biya abroad has now exceeded 50 days. Across the political spectrum, newspapers agree on one point, that governance has become the defining issue of the national conversation. Few issues receive as much unanimous attention as a repeated extension of the 4th General Population and Housing Census. Cameroon Tribune reports on the decision by government to grant an additional extension to improve coverage of households and agricultural holdings. However, Le Messager, Mutation, La Nouvelle Expression, Le de Sahel, and L'Indépendant all question the repeated delays from different editorial perspectives. Some portray them as administrative necessity, while others argue they expose deeper institutional and logistical shortcomings. Beyond statistics, the newspaper suggests that census has become a test of the state's organizational capacity and its ability to produce reliable data for future planning. While national politics dominate many headlines, several newspapers shift attention to local governance and community development. Municipal Updates Daily celebrates the contribution of Dreamland Connect to local economic development through the Mutant Market project in Nkwen, Bamenda 3 subdivision, highlighting community engagement and infrastructure delivery. The newspaper also reports on the waste management initiative of the Limbe City Council, stakeholder training on the rights of citizens in Akwaya, the budget implementation progress of the Douala City Council, and support for cocoa farmers by Soweda. The Herald Tribune complements this by reporting the review of its fiscal strategy by government amid widening budget deficits, fresh support for farmers. Together, these newspapers demonstrate that decentralization is increasingly measured by tangible development outcomes rather than policy declarations. Peace building also receives widespread attention. Cameroon Echoes reports training for lawyers and notaries on securities dematerialization, media literacy workshops in Kumba, and community waste management initiatives. These newspapers collectively argue that investing in knowledge and peace remains essential to national development. Economic reform remains firmly on the agenda. Economy leads with reforms to international payment systems following the opening of the Biak trading room at the Bank of China. The newspaper also questions why the National Hydrocarbon Corporation has failed to pay dividends to the state for a decade. Défis Actuels continues the economic discussions by reporting preparation by African First Bank to provide 32.8 billion francs CFA in financing for small and medium-sized enterprises. The newspapers also explore digital payment, interoperability, technology, entrepreneurship, strategic minerals, extracting renewed United States interest, and environmental restoration through mangrove conservation. Together, these publications portray an economy seeking stronger financial integration while encouraging entrepreneurship and private sector growth. Faith and social responsibility receive significant attention throughout the press. The visit of the Archbishop of Canterbury dominates coverage in the Reporter. The Sun, The Horizon, and Lasha King, with newspapers highlighting her message of peace, reconciliation, and hope for Cameroon. The Sun also reports growing public debate following the remarks by Bishop Michael Bibi of Boya, urging women to stop making romantic advances towards Catholic priests, alongside reforms in security, dematerialization, and divisions within the Conference of Fako Chiefs. Health remains prominent through Health News, which celebrates African Women's Day while promoting the empowerment of women, examines the challenges facing breastfeeding during ongoing blockades, and reports the destruction of more than 28 million francs CFA worth of illicit medicines in Bamenda. Meanwhile, EcoSante focuses on professional standards in dentistry, hepatitis surveillance, and continuing medical education, reinforcing concerns about quality healthcare and public safety. And this has been your press review this Monday, 3rd of August, brought to you by me, Baka Derek. Happy start of the week.